Tristan Lyonesse. Tristan Lyonesse is the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth Lyonesse, the prince of the kingdom of Lyonesse, a holy knight, and one of the 4 knights of the apocalypse. On his 10th birthday, Tristan heard one of the maids talk about the 7 deadly sins meeting in the castle that same night. Ignoring the truth about them and only knowing that they were criminals who were once exiled from the kingdom, Tristan assumes that they intend to take control of Lyonesse. He then runs off to call other children of the kingdom, telling them that as a holy knight who protects the peace of Lyonesse, it is his duty to capture them. When his friends do not take any of his words seriously, Tristan decides to go to the castle and ambush them on his own. There, he is surprised by Elizabeth, who was looking for him, which worries Tristan for having been discovered by the Sins. Meliodas and the Sins introduce themselves. Although everyone is friendly with him, Tristan is suspicious, stating that he knows they intend to do a coup d'état. Everyone takes it as him trying to play hero. Even Meliodas jokes about acting like a villain to falsely prove his son's suspicion. Tristan is then taken outside where the entire kingdom has gathered to celebrate his birthday. Although Tristan insists that his father is the leader of some villains, Ban tells him that if so, the people of the kingdom would not admire him the way they do. Tristan sticks to his ideas by highlighting all of his father's bad habits. Gauther then uses his powers to give him a special gift, to show him the true story of the 7 deadly sins. The next day, Tristan goes to a picnic with his parents. After a sword training session with Meliodas, he tells him that his future expands like heaven and that he does not have to become a king, which may be what he decides, even a holy knight. Tristan then says that he has already decided, he will be one of the 7 deadly sins. Appearance. Tristan closely resembles both of his parents. He has the same face and hairstyle as Meliodas, although his hair is long and silver like Elizabeth's. He has heterochromia, his right eye being blue like Elizabeth's and his left green like Meliodas's. At age 16, he is taller and much more mature, both in appearance and personality, as well as wearing a blue earring closely resembling Elizabeth's on his right ear. He currently wears a collared cyan button-up suit under similarly colored gloves, as well as silver boots and a chest plate bearing a golden crest. Over all of this, he wears a baggy, yellow button-up jacket with thick white lining and an orange crest, worn with only the topmost button done. When using his goddess powers, he gains a triskelion in both eyes. He then can gain goddess wings for flight. When using his demon powers, his eyes turn jet black, with branch-like lines coming from them, and a large black mark on his forehead in the shape of a 4-pointed star. Personality. Tristan is a very energetic and tenacious boy. He expresses no appreciation about the role of prince, instead preferring to defend his kingdom as a holy knight. Despite pretending to be a knight, he holds a great sense of justice and feels the need to protect his kingdom from anything threatening it, including his father and other sins, upon hearing how they were framed years ago, yet didn't know how they were framed until learning from Gauther's story. After learning about his parents' journey around Britannia and fighting the 10 Commandments, he desires to become the 7 deadly sins due to their heroics in saving the land from the Demon King and Cath Palag, showing that he has great respect and admiration for heroes. During the current events of the 4 Nights of Apocalypse, we see that Tristan is a pacifist like his mother. He cares for his comrades and others when they're in danger. He doesn't tolerate violence and will only take action when he feels like it's his last resort. When using his demonic power, he seems to become more violent and serious, abandoning his pacifistic ideals, becoming willing to attack an enemy. We also see that he has a resistance to use the demonic power that he has inherited from his father, for fear of being called a monster and being compared to his father. Perhaps as a result of his demonic powers, he seems to prefer his mother over her father, as he happily takes any comment pointing out his and his mother's similarities with joy. As well as happily agreeing he and his father are not alike, despite people pointing out that he is more like his father after using his demonic powers, which he seems to dislike hearing. Chaos in Lyonesse Arc. Tristan appears on the streets of Lyonesse where his 3 followers, the Tristan platoon, were attacking Percival's group, whom they believed to be Knights of Camelot. Recognizing the dragon handle that had already been reported in an ally's possession, Tristan orders Kion to remove his spirit spells from the boy, but then Percival mummifies Kion's arm and attacks Jade, for which Tristan sends him flying with a kick, and after taking flying with her goddess wings, she asks Percival who he really is. Hearing him speak in a strange language, Tristan attacks him with Twinkle Star, but to no effect, leading him to confirm that Percival is not a demon. Tristan then knocks Percival down with his swords, but his 3 friends rise to shield Percival and leave everyone shocked, and they manage to bring Percival back to his senses. Tristan uses his magic to heal Percival's friends, but is unable to reverse the mummification of Kion's arm. He suggests going to Hendrickson or his mother to figure it out, until Percival manages to heal him himself. Tristan then asks Isolde what led to the situation, but the girl is embarrassed that she had her chastity taken from her, and she leaves in tears. Tristan formally introduces himself to Percival, revealing himself as the Prince of Lyonesse and one of the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse as Percival. Tristan is glad that the 4 of them are in Lyonesse, revealing Lancelot to be one as well. When Lancelot arrives, Tristan shows glad to see him and asks if he already met the 4th member he brought, to which Lancelot informs that the 4th member had fled the scene. Tristan asks why he ran away, to which Lancelot says he does not know and that the king charged everyone to clean up the prince's mess. Lancelot orders Tristan's party and Percival's party to check the east and west gates while he himself checks the south gate. He also asks Tristan to tell them everything he knows about the 4th member. Tristan reveals to them that his name is Gawain and that he wears armor and has golden magic, despite knowing nothing else since he never took off his armor since he met him. Lancelot inquires that Tristan is hiding something else, which Tristan denies, though seeing Lancelot read his mind, he reveals that Gawain is a blood relative of King Arthur. Although Tristan is alarmed that this information will wreak havoc between them, Lancelot says that it is better to know in advance. Tristan arrives at the site where Gawain and Percival were fighting Pelagard by following Gawain's magic. Tristan berates Gawain for disobeying his orders to wait for him. When Percival tells him that Pelagard is a knight from Camelot, Tristan manifests his demon and goddess powers, leading Pelagard to deduce that he is the one with light and dark in his eyes, of the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. As everyone have different opinions about what to do with Pelagard, with Tristan suggesting take him prisoner, Percival decides to talk to him, giving the Camelot knight the opportunity to kidnap him, leaving the rest trapped in a perfect cube. Tristan berates Lancelot for not using his magic to stop him, to which Lancelot points out that he would have harmed Percival as well. After Gawain uses absolute cancel to nullify the perfect cube, Tristan takes flight to go help Percival. Tristan comes to Percival's aid after Percival is beaten by an upset Gawain for his interference in Pelagard's death. While healing Percival, Tristan berates Gawain for attacking a comrade, but Gawain denies being on the same level as them and that he never intended them to become friends, provoking Tristan to attack her, but the prince refuses to raise his swords against an ally. Gawain simply shoves him out of the way by calling him a wimp, and when Percival gets upset with Gawain, Tristan tells him not to piss her off anymore. However, Pelagard intervenes and Tristan watches in amazement as he overpowers Gawain. When Pelagard decides to retreat after a tantrum from Gawain, Tristan allows him to, having saved Percival and not wanting to fight a wounded man, but warns him that he will not do it again. Tristan then comforts Gawain for her defeat by praising her and assuring her that he will win the next one, which brings her spirits back to her. Tristan feels a strong demonic magic in Lyonesse, so Gawain teleports him and Percival back to the kingdom. Confronting a resurrected Galen and Melascula, the both recognizes Tristan mixed magic by its similarity with Meliodas and Elizabeth's. Upon evading Galen's attack, Tristan is surprised by Melascula, who traps him in Mayon no Ori. However, Tristan breaks free, enchanting his sword with arc, claiming that she will never defeat them. He warns Melascula that she should surrender as Galen has already been defeated, but Melascula creates a creature of demon and goddess souls, rendering it immune to Tristan's Arkansas. Melascula talks about the repulsiveness of Tristan being a Nephilim, though she sees that in appearance and magic he is more like his mother, though he is nowhere near her in power. Tristan happily agrees with her statement and asks her to tell him about when her mother was called Bloodstained Ellie. Melascula recoils, surprised by his attitude, noting that Tristan does not resemble his father, to which the boy agrees as well. When Lancelot tricks Melascula into assuming her giant snake form, Tristan is forced to unleash his demonic power to finish her off. Melascula then says that Tristan is actually a monster like his father, to which Tristan says that is why he does not like using that power. As Percival shows amazed by Tristan's power and Gawain recriminates that he hided that power from her, Tristan says that it is more inconvenient of what it looks like. While Percival's friends and the other holy knights gathers to celebrate the 4 Knights of Apocalypse, Melascula and Galen emerges, having fused into a being called Melegoland. Tristan says that they must just defeat them again, but none of his attacks have any effect on them, making him realize that they are a completely different being now. Tristan then uses his falling stars, but for some reason, all the shots miss the target. After Gawain uses her sunshine burst, Tristan tries to take Percival away from Melegoland's reach, although Donnie uses his telekinesis to push Melegoland away. Seeing Melegoland hurted by Gawain's attack, Tristan and Percival try to charge into it, but inadvertently end up crashing into each other, knocking each other out. Tristan is carried away from the battle by Nations and Hendrickson, and after being healed by the latter, Tristan saves Isolde from being crushed by Melegoland, stating that the girl always push herself for his sake. After evading Melegoland's attack to leave Isolde with Hendrix and asking him to call for Lancelot, Tristan soon overcomes Melegoland with his demonic power, managing to rip its face off and pierce its body with darkness. Melegoland then invokes the Meifu no Bansan, but Tristan removes the technique without issue and proceeds to rip off Melegoland's snake head despite saying that he agrees to the plea to stop, stating that he is unable to control himself in that state. Tristan eventually wipes out the rest of Melegoland with his swords. Percival tries to tell him that he can switch back now, but Tristan states that he can't do that so easily. When Arthur Pendragon descends into the battlefield from the sky in a staircase as he congratulates Tristan for his fight, Tristan flies to attack him, to which Arthur says that he will be the first one he will test. Arthur manages to repel Tristan and send him flying away, claiming that his demon blood make him like a bloodthirsty beast. Tristan manages to pull himself together to attack Arthur with his darkness, stating that the manipulative speech he was giving to the kingdom is making him vomit. Arthur says that Tristan is still young and attacks him with a magic blast, but Meliodas appears to rebound the attack with full counter. When Tristan says that they are wasting time and that he will take down Arthur himself, Meliodas orders him to stay out before jumping to Arthur and start a fierce sword struggle that causes such an impact that destroys a nearby mountain. Tristan suddenly tries to interfere, telling his father to shut up when he asks him to retire. As Arthur says that he should not speak to his kind father like that, Meliodas saves him from being beheaded by Arthur and then attacks him with Trillion Dart to finally send him flying away with a kick. Meliodas asks his son if he is hurt, leading Tristan to angrily reject his help and states that he could fight with his own power even when Meliodas tries to make him calm his mind. Arthur says that he do not understand a thing and that he is only dragging his father down since if not were for him, Meliodas would not have been hurt and Arthur would have been hurt far worse. Arthur also tells Meliodas that he should not be worried about his son in the middle of a national affair like that, but Meliodas says that if he do not worry about his son then he cannot be considered a king. Arthur asks Meliodas what is needed to be the king of a country, affirming that it is resolve and action strong enough to cast their individuality and feelings aside for your people's sake, even if it is your beloved son and wife. As Tristan begins to completely lose control of his demon side, Meliodas runs to help, receiving an attack from behind from Arthur who tells him to die protecting his beloved son. After Lancelot stops Arthur's attack, Tristan breaks free and began a havoc over the place, forcing Lancelot to stop him with his shining road. Meliodas takes care of Tristan who returned to his senses to see Lancelot fight Arthur, recriminating his father for comment that Lancelot inherited his father's skill to teasing people. Abilities/equipment. At age 10, Tristan is shown to possess above-average combat skills, both barehanded and with a sword. Gowther claims he possesses an impressive power level for a boy of his age. At age 16, his combat abilities seems to have improved greatly. He is also shown to have inherited goddess powers from his mother and demon powers from his father, and the ability to manifest them separately or simultaneously. Abilities. Arkaku, literally meaning holy chest, an archetypal magic technique of the goddess clan that counteracts darkness by disintegrating it with light particles. Flight. Tristan can manifest 2 pairs of goddess wings to fly. He can also manifest a pair of demonic wings to fly when using his demon powers. Demonic mode. Tristan can enter this state to gain more power to fight enemies. However, Tristan states that the amount of time he can use it is limited, plus he doesn't like using it since he tends to lose control of his actions and could be hard for him to switch back. In this state, Tristan is able to rip off body parts of Melegoland with ease, whereas before none of his attacks or the other 4 Knights of the Apocalypse barely did anything. Tristan also can make use of the power of darkness of the demon clan. Weapons. Tristan uses a pair of blades, 1 black, 1 white. It is stated that he also owns several other swords, with his favorite pair being named Mail and Esterasa.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.